Okay, so we've been to Krakow as a family twice now. Once 7 years ago when we stayed on Florianska Street. I think we were in Pod Rosa. And this year we're staying on Westerplatte in the
Hotel
Maximum
Maximum.
Hotel.
Yeah.
So you've seen a fair bit of Krakow now, both of you. So my first question is, what stands out for you about Krakow?
I love it. I think it's a beautiful city and there's so much to go and see. And we've varied it this time because we've had several expeditions out, which have taken us out into the Polish countryside, which has been very interesting.
Okay, but let's focus on Krakow specifically. So, what is it that makes it stand out for you?
The Polish character. I mean, I know this time we haven't been to Warsaw Castle or anything because we did it last time, but the town square is lovely. In the shops, you get a lot of proper Polish cultural things, which you don't get very much in some other places. And we've been very lucky that both times we've been here for the Easter market. Excuse me.
Yeah, it's true. We've been here for Easter both times, actually. How about you, Dad?
Um, I must admit, I don't really like these large squares you have all over the place. There's so many squares you don't know which one you're in. I know the main one because we went where the market is, because that's where we went last time as well. And therefore, we haven't been shopping as such in Krakow. So we've seen two museums. There's the Glass Museum and the Arts Museum. But we've done very little in Krakow itself this time. It's mostly
Yeah, but we
travel.
can talk about both trips. Doesn't have to just be this trip. You know, because I'm trying to gain your impressions of Krakow overall, and I know it was 7 years ago that we went before, but you must have some like memories of that too. So let's try and talk about Krakow overall, not just this trip.
Well, Krakow overall, from last time, I must admit, I was really impressed by the charm of it and getting used to that square with its market, with Chris running around like a mad thing and getting to know everybody in that market exceptionally well on first name terms, really. I thought was quite good. We only did one day of that this time, and we've seen two museums. Last time we saw the castle, which was very charming, as Chris says.
We went to that lovely furnished house. Was it a merchant's house or something? It was in the town square, near to the square. We
Uh,
visited the last time. I can't remember what it was called.
I don't remember that. Was I there?
You might not have been. I can't remember.
Okay.
Okay, but this time we went up that tower, which was really quite exciting if you managed to get past the first half dozen steps.
Yeah, the steps were quite steep in the it's the town hall, I think, or the old town hall, or whatever it is.
Yeah, they should have provided you with a certificate of attendance or
Achievement.
ascendance. Yeah, we got to the top. Yeah.
Okay. Um, what do you think about the other areas? Because I know, let's maybe talk about Varvel. Like, what were your impressions of that?
Oh, I loved it. It's disappointing that we've never been here in right time to see the dragon, though.
Well, I mean, the Dragon's Cave, you mean,
Yeah.
which is only open during the summer. Yeah, I'm still yet to see that actually. But yeah, other than that you loved it, what else can you say about
Well,
Varvel?
it's very impressive. It is 7 years ago, remember?
Yes, true, true.
Done a lot of things in the last 7 years.
But it's like, as castles go, it's probably one of the most dramatic in Poland. You
It's the
know,
biggest we've seen, I think, isn't it? Probably.
well, Malbork would be
Oh,
bigger,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's impressive in its own right. It has a lot of history, a lot of tradition. It's where the Polish kings would have ruled. Various points in history.
And Krakow is very proud of that, isn't it? There's actually a town museum with the history that we saw last time. And you often don't get that in other towns. It's hard to actually find out how the towns are developed and that sort of thing.
Mm. Yeah, I think the museums here are pretty good.
Yes, I think we are.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think that was the main issue we had with Gdansk, about the museums there.
There were some wonderful museums in Gdansk. I should never forget that Amber Museum.
Okay, so what about the Kazimierz district? Do you remember that, the Jewish quarter?
No.
You don't know? I mean, we walked around a bit. I remember it's got a lot of old buildings, and it's an area I've explored a couple of times, but I think it's kind of difficult to get to the ins and outs of it, unless maybe you go with a guide, or you know someone, or you've done some research. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's because it looks like a kind of a series of old streets, and there is some lovely street food you can buy there. Um, but it's something that you're saying doesn't really stand out in the memory.
Mm. Well, as I say, it's 7 years.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so what do you think to the like the layout of the city, and like I don't know.
Route structure.
It's organised. There are and these sort of big squares, isn't it? And the centre. It's obviously a planned city.
Yeah, and it's nice that it has these walls going around as well as the grassy areas.
The grassy areas would have been where the moat was, presumably.
Lots of parks and things, which is nice too.
That's what the grassy areas are. Yeah.
No.
And how have you found like the food and the drink here?
Pretty good, actually. I mean, I wish there was more vegetarian option, but I've managed to find a vegetarian option each time that's been palatable. And they serve a nice lot of vegetables, which is important.
That's right. I haven't had any problem with the food.
Have you found it different to, say, Gdansk and Wrocław in terms of the food?
Don't know.
No, I don't think so.
Can't answer that one.
No, fair enough. Like
I think it would stand out if there was a marked difference.
Okay, and like, if you were to come back to Krakow again, what would you want to focus on?
I think I'd probably like to go back to Warsaw Castle, actually. And the archaeology museum that we've not managed to get to because it was shut the day we wanted to see it.
Yeah, that's the problem when you leave things to Easter. So this weekend I think things have been a little bit limited in terms of what we've been able to see. And now we're a bit tired, a bit ill, and we're all kind of packed up and ready to go. And we've been pretty lucky with the weather, I'd say, this week. Yeah, it's been pretty warm. It's been raining on a couple of days, but
nothing serious.
That's right.
I mean, they threatened us with thunder and lightning yesterday, but I didn't see any.
That's a bit disappointing.
I remember last time we were here, you found a lovely shop selling Christmas ornaments. Do you remember that?
Yes, we haven't found that this time. And we haven't found the little shop selling amber either that we found last time, only the ones in the market.
Well, we haven't really been on Florianska Street. I think that's where
perhaps that's where I want to go this morning.
We can have a look. Yeah, because you've got the big arcade in the middle of the square. But I think you didn't really find anything you wanted in there, right?
What, in Galeria?
No, in the middle.
Oh, sorry. I bought a couple of things, I think.
Okay.
There was quite a lot of amber, wasn't there?
Yes, there was, but having got some absolutely beautiful pieces of amber in the past, it's got to be something spectacular for me to want to buy it again.
Yeah, I think that's really more Gdansk's specialty, to be honest.
But I did buy some lovely amber when I was here last time.
Yeah.
Okay. And then is there anything that you don't like about Krakow?
No, I don't think so.
I felt sorry for the drivers, especially the female driver. Ever, right. Because she said, well, in order to go west, you have to go north and east and south.
Yeah, there's a bit of a one-way system, which makes it a bit complicated.
And if someone decides to cross the road, all they have to do is walk. And if you run them over, then...
Yeah. As a driver, you definitely have to be on your toes.
Yes.
I mean...
I felt so sorry for him.
Yeah, me, I don't know. Like, I personally, the issues I have with Krakow are, it's very busy.
Yes, it's a little bit daunting on the pavement in the evening sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. And I think if we were out on a Saturday night or something, people would be a bit crazy.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like I do feel that it's more expensive here.
That's
Well,
what you said,
we
yeah.
wouldn't know how to compare.
That's what you said about the restaurants. The prices were higher. And the zlotys look like telephone numbers.
Yeah, like I thought Gdansk had got expensive, but then I think Krakow is actually more expensive than Gdansk now.
So it's a tourist thing.
Yeah, I mean that's always been my issue. That Krakow is a very touristy city, and well, like in the centre at least.
So if you turn in a bad report on this, don't go to Krakow. It might come out cheaper next time you come.
That's one incentive. Okay. Are there any other points about Krakow you think worth mentioning?
No, I don't think so particularly.
No, I mean, basically, our exposure, we never got used to some of these other places. You got used to certain restaurants, you know. We didn't get that this time. We just found something. And there is a lot of choice there. That is the advantage of Krakow.
It's true. Yeah, there's a lot of variety here, definitely. Okay, so we can talk a little bit about the outskirts, because I think a lot of the time when people they come to Krakow, they don't just stay in the city, they go and see, because there are various attractions. So the first time we were here, we went to Auschwitz, for example. We took one of those day trip tours by bus. So I know it was like a very difficult trip for you guys, but what are your main memories from Auschwitz?
Be absolutely stunned at how awful it was, because although I knew about the Holocaust, I hadn't sort of heard about it on a personal level, I don't think. And I suddenly realised what they had to endure, and it just left me shell-shocked.
Yeah, it was the impression of the place, wasn't it? That you got the message, then you got the message again, then you got the message again, and after a while it began to sink in that that was a really important message.
You feel it's somewhere everybody ought to go to, but I think even if they go, they don't respect it. I saw something on the news the other day about some German students who were doing Nazi salutes outside it.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, well, Miha was talking about this. I think she was Israeli, like Instagram model who was taking poses on some of the train tracks or something like that, and she got in trouble with the police for being disrespectful.
I think there was a girl doing that yesterday at the village. She was wearing a rather striking black outfit, and she was posing in the orchard.
In Zalipie. Okay, yeah, so let's go on to Zalipie then. So Zalipie, we got to through another day trip where we had a car that was driving us there. And what can you tell us about the village?
It's what they call a scanson, which is an open-air museum, but that is only part of it.
Zalipie?
Yeah, they called it a scanson.
Okay.
And they've got various different grades of houses from different levels of society, refurnished as they would have been. And the richer houses, not the poor house, were exquisitely painted. And there were two particular women, I think, in the village in the 20th century who did most of the painting. So whether it goes back earlier or not, I haven't been able to ascertain yet. But they painted this beautiful floral designs, which is what I would call folk art, because they're a little bit like what we get on the canal boat painting, but not quite the same way of doing flowers. But they're beautiful. They're usually done against white walls, and you've got all these brightly coloured flowers, and they're on the ceilings, the walls, the furniture, and the lovely embroideries and things. And they showed the sort of way of life. So they showed what the beds were like, and the utensils they used every day, and the farm utensils, and the equipment to make the sauerkraut, which I'd never seen before because we don't make that much in England. And then in the poorest house, they said it was not decoratively painted, but because they had the cows in at one end of the house and it was a bit smelly, they had to have special white paint on the walls, which helped to deaden the smell. I think it was magnesium or something.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Mikhail did tell us what it was, but I can't remember.
Yeah, yeah. Zalipie was lovely because it was, yeah, a lot of nicely painted
A
houses.
lot of charm. Yeah.
Even the houses in the village that weren't part of the museum, some of them were painted. Even the wells, the beehives,
Yeah.
the fences, and
Some of the bees.
the church. Although the church is relatively modern, I think it was Second World War period, wasn't it? It was
I
absolutely
don't know because
beautifully
there
painted.
was something in there saying it was celebrating 100 years, so
Oh,
I
perhaps I'm
need to
wrong.
check on
Yes.
that one.
And that was
Yeah.
particularly interesting because it shows some of the Easter customs. They have these lovely Palm Sunday fronds displayed there, and an Easter sepulchre. And we have Easter gardens in English churches, but they're on a sort of miniature scale. But they've got a full-sized effigy shrouded up in white cloth in what looked like a cave, which they called their Easter sepulchre.
Okay. So one other key thing we did was going to Wieliczka. So I remember, so 7 years ago, the day trip we had was meant to be Auschwitz-Birkenau and then Wieliczka, but then they didn't stop for lunch. So you two were too hungry and tired to
Well, we
carry
hadn't
on.
had breakfast either.
Yeah, so you two were too hungry and tired to carry on. So you missed Wieliczka that time. But this time we didn't book a tour. We just, we booked the tour at the place, but we didn't go with a transport. So we just took the train.
It was very easy, actually, wasn't it? And very nice trains.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like a lot of people, they jump on these package tours, but to be honest, you waste so much money doing that. It's so much better if you just organise these things yourself.
Yeah.
And the trains in Poland are so easy to use. But what did you think of Wieliczka?
Absolutely fascinating.
I don't know which one. What is Wieliczka?
The salt mine.
Ah, right. I was wondering if it was Yeah.
Excuse me. They were absolutely vast. And I gather what we saw was only a tiny fragment. And the amount of sheer hard labour must have gone into tunnelling out all these bits of salt. And the sculptures they've made, which I think were also made out of salt, weren't they?
Yes.
And the enormous chapel they had there. No, it was very, very interesting.
Dad?
I felt sorry for the person who's doing the commentary because she had to rattle off in English what the current room was about, and then the next group was pushing her on, so she couldn't really. I felt sorry for her at the end because she said, "Oh, you won't ever see me again." I thought, I wouldn't expect to. I said that about 3 times. So, and I wondered if it was just a little bit artificial. You know, I mean, you get the point about mining is difficult, but they seem quite nice places. I couldn't mind there, I think.
I think it looks a lot nicer now as a tourist attraction, for sure. Okay, so let's wrap it up. So we did a few other trips. Is there anything that stands out from those for you?
Just remember what they were now.
Okay, then no,
So
it's
tired.
fine. We don't have to go into it, but essentially,
Oh, we did that castle, didn't we?
yeah. So we went to Mojna Castle. Yep.
Oh, that was. I don't think that calling it a castle is such a good idea, but yes, it was quite. That's why we listened to the woodpeckers, wasn't it?
Yes.
That was lovely. Actually,
It was rather heavy Germanic furniture, wasn't it? It was more Germanic than Polish, I would have thought, probably.
Well, yeah, it
Yes.
would have
was,
been.
yeah.
So the other trip was to the other scanson, wasn't it? And that was absolutely fascinating. They had most of the houses of the village, I think. And so they had sort of farmhouses and smaller houses. Not so much, yes, they did have some barns. And it was very interesting because they were all the same sort of architecture. So they got logs laid along horizontally and they got clay bands in between them. And usually, I think, a stone footing. And mostly thatched roofs with a very strange sort of decoration on the corners of thatch that we don't get in England.
Yeah.
So again, the guide Ava was very good.
Mm.
She'd not been there before, I don't think, but she took me all around
No,
it.
she learnt a lot from you, more than you learnt from her.
Oh no, I don't think we were teaching each other. She was a brilliant guide. She took us to all sorts of places I don't think she'd intended to take us to, because we went up to some basilica, didn't we, that connected with Pope John Paul.
We went to a couple of we went to that abbey in Tiniot
Yes.
and the basilica in Calvaria, and then we also had the other castle that you and me went to in
Yes,
the
that was-
Polfiets, I think.
that was while Chris was educating this young lady.
Avoiding walking up the steep hill.
And I got halfway up the hill and I said, "My God, we haven't even got to anywhere near the castle yet. I was out of breath." But we did it. I don't think I would have gained anything by doing the step ladder at the end. But
But you thought the castle was a bit unusual.
yes, very unusual. Normally with, I can't remember what date it was. I probably don't know what date it was. But normally, say, with 13th century castles, examples in North Wales, you get the structure, fortifications, very ably displayed, how the ideas, new techniques were implemented. With this castle, what was amazing was that you had so much internal structure, to the extent that you had a knight who and his horse were coming out of his stable. He didn't say a lot, but
Quite full size one.
Yeah, basically. Okay, so let's end it there. Are there any final thoughts on Krakow or this part of Poland?
It's just a lovely place. And it's lovely to come and see you.
Okay. Anything from you, Dad?
Well, to be honest, I think I found Krakow, like Wrocław, too overdeveloped. You know what I mean? Very big squares, very big buildings. Like 3, 4, 5 levels. Lots of cars, lots of traffic, and I think what I prefer about English cities is you get a lot of character.
I think there's more character to English cities.
Yeah.
Depends where you go.
Mm.
I think there's a lot of character to here.
I
And Gdansk.
like Newcastle, but there you go. And Bath was beautiful.
Oh, Bath is hard to compete
But
with.
if you look hard enough, there's some very interesting architecture. There's quite a lot of sort of quite elegant, probably 19th century buildings.
Yes, I mean that's possibly my other contention.
Some
is
of them look
that
very,
they're
very.
quite modern, quite.
They need a lot of
rococo.
restoration. Some of them.
Yeah, which is not my favourite design scheme. Not something I can get used to.
So did you prefer Gdansk in that respect? Or?
I quite like Gdansk, yeah. Got used to it there. Well, we did a lot of walking around.
They seem to
there,
it smaller, Gdansk, doesn't it?
I mean, the centre is smaller than
Mm.
Krakow for sure. But it's like with all of these big cities, you get the central tourist bit, and then district after district after district, which
we saw Gdynia.
Gdynia.
Gdynia. That's the Australian bit, Gdynia. We saw Gdynia, which was also very interesting. So there was a lot to see there. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Pleasure. Thank you for the holiday.
Yeah. Well, you paid, so it's lovely. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. I hope you found that interesting. Do zobaczenia.